What's up, guys? It's Yank here with 47 North Gaming and doing some flight sim. Haven't done this yet on the channel. I just realized this, even though I think I've mentioned it in possibly in a couple videos. So anyway, we are going to be doing a flight here. I'm in Singapore and we're going to be going up to somewhere in Indonesia. Let me take a look here real quick. We're going to Kuala Lumpur, I think, Indonesia. No, not Indonesia. Yeah, my geography's bad. Let me take a look here. I think that's gotta be No, that's Malaysia, sorry. Indonesia is the island next door, or the nearby country, sorry. So we're gonna be going from Singapore up to the I think it's the capital of Malaysia, actually, the Kuala Lumpur? No idea if I'm saying that right. You guys, I'm sure, will probably be laughing, especially if you are more geography, whatever, words. Anyway, what we got here is the Aerosoft A320. This is in American Flight Airways paint, and that is a virtual airline, one of the older ones actually out there. I've been part of it since 2008, so I am shamelessly promoting them in the video here, mainly because I've got a paint skin for it and it's kind of the one that I like to use. But yeah, anyway, we are on the ramp here, cold and dark, so let's get started. So jump into the cockpit here. So first and foremost, we are going to need some batteries. Get the batteries flipped on there. And the weather's not fantastic today, but I love how it's reflecting off of the panels and such. Switch that over. Get that plugged in before I forget. And get our screens turned on here. Now, I will say this, I will not be doing necessarily everything up to full procedures. I'm kind of doing abbreviated steps here. We will be using the co-pilot system to go through a lot of the checks. But we do got some different add-ons running. I've got Active Sky running. That's where you're seeing the weather coming from. This is real-world weather at the time of recording. I have GSX ground services turned on. That's where you're getting that tug there, then the ramp that you see there, and a few of the other services you'll be seeing here soon. And then I've got Ultimate Traffic 2 running all of the AI traffic in the background, and that's pretty much stock. I haven't really tinkered with it too much, but I do plan on possibly adding some more aircraft and routes to it at some other date. So, we've got... let's go through our flows here. We got to turn these guys on. I don't think there's anything else we really have to do here in this simulation. Most of that stuff's going to get covered in the thingamajigger, the startup, or the checklist, but I'm going to get these turned on real quick. Seeing as warm climate, we're going to turn the air down a little bit since it's already going to probably be humid with the rain. Turn the APU bleed. Oop, hold on. I'm going to turn the APU on first. So we'll get that starting up. And you'll see that starting to kick on there. Let's see. We'll be flying at... Oh, that's right. I'm going to kick it up there, 1,000. I think it's 260 we'll be flying at later today. Reset IRS to nav, they are to nav, they're just warming up. So we'll deal with that in a minute. All that stuff will get taken care of later. So, I love the reflections in this. Absolutely gorgeous. Let's see. So we'll go to... Oop, hold on. Actually, we're going to go to our loads real quick. That is actually what we want plugged in. I'm going to instant load that just so we don't have to worry about that. IR in a line. Oh, they'll be aligned in 4 minutes. TCAS available. I'm sorry. Bleed is available. Turn the bleed on. Get the cabin cooling down since it is 26 degrees outside Celsius. I can't tell you what the conversion is to Fahrenheit. That's just what the aircraft is operating in. I just know that we're gonna have it tuned down to probably about 22, I think. Excuse me. Okay. We're not going to turn that stuff on yet. Turn that on. And I think we're good to get started here. So, we are going to request the catering services. Set parking brake for my KA cars to start. So we'll request catering. So they'll be coming by here shortly. Let's see, 3 minutes still to go on that. So yeah. What else can we get taken care of here? We'll turn our signs on since those need to be on when we get on. To arm our emergency lights. We need to turn our... we don't need the wing light on. We need the nav lights on. Don't need any of those lights on. We're going to need wipers later, but that's when it's rolling. And I think we're fairly good to go. It's kind of abbreviated, didn't really follow any type of procedures necessarily, but oh well, this is a simulator for some fun rather than just all work. So let's go back outside, so we can see the catering trucks coming on in. And you can hear the APU now on, so we're getting SATS crews. One I haven't seen before, but granted I have not been to this part of the world with GSX yet. So I'll let them get situated. Honestly, GSX is probably one of my more favorite purchases for flight sim along with the active sky. It just adds a whole other element to your simulation. We will doors. Open those guys up. We're gonna need the cargo doors open at some point, so we'll open those guys up as well. And we'll take the trolley carts back and forth. Now you notice the engines are spinning. It's not because the engines are on, it's just because they even modeled freewheeling. So they are freewheeling right now in the wind. Currently, we don't have that up on the screen right there. I could pull it up for the thing. Through the flight simulator. Actually, I'm going to look on the active sky. So weather report. Apparently it is only 2 knots of breeze, but it's spinning a lot faster than I would expect 2 knots of breeze to do. Oh, and now they're not moving. So we must have adjust maybe, or a weather change. Well, it was just a graphical glitch. I don't know. They do freewheel. I have noticed it in the past. They'll sometimes slowly spin. I wonder if the weather just updated. Anyway, we got the ground power unit there. We already got our APU on, so we could turn that off at this point. but we will call in the fuel truck. Fueling services as requested. Please use the refueling system of your aircraft to can do. Give a fuel truck way off in the distance for more lightning as well. Looks like plane on departure really low, going down runway 1. One thing I really like about Ultimate Traffic 2 is the models are a lot more detailed than the other AI traffic programs, and they actually, their departure speeds, I was going to turn off the information, but oh well, I guess you get the information on all the aircraft, because this plane has TCAS. Anyway, close up the doors so it'll stop beeping at us. And we will request boarding. Load fuel. We're not gonna need too much. It's a short hop today, but just to be on the safe side, let's load the fuel in. To make sure. I could use a calculator for it, but I'm just going to throw fuel in for the purposes of today's flight. Outside. Alright. So next we will be boarding. Is that a request boarding? Boarding has been requested. Okay. So refueling. HG map not available. I have to do something? I thought I already did that. I thought that was setting up. Can't remember. I haven't done a cold and dark on this aircraft in a while, so... Actually, no, I remember now. I have to go to here, to align IRS. Boom. There we go. Cool. Alright, so we are going from Whiskey, Sierra, Sierra, Sierra to, I think, Whiskey, Delta, Kilo, Kilo? Let me look. We got the already preloaded in here. No, it is not Whiskey, Delta, Kilo, Kilo, so I need to go look real quick. It is Whiskey, Mike, Kilo, Kilo. That's my error, so... Whiskey, Sierra, 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 and Whiskey... Shoot, there it is. Whiskey, Mike. Kilo, Kilo, right? Yeah, there it is. So, please wait, and we'll load all that stuff in. It's looking for me to open aft left door. Oh. Aircraft doors open. Because we are on the ramp, it needs both of those for loading. Cost index, we're going with 3.6 today. Instead 2.0 is our flight altitude, and our flight number is 3253.
Hello.
3253.
Hello.
Preferences, we're just going to take off with 1 flaps today, so we'll let the computer do the rest of that. Yeah, that'll work.
Hello.
Flight plan, I gotta check discontinuity. We're gonna leave that one in for the moment, because that is going to be removed when we put in what we want for our arrival. Go outside here real quick. So this is luggage movements. There's those engines spinning again. Okay, so I think it just crashed something. Anyway, though, while this is all being loaded in, and start our checklists. So with our checklists on, I'm going to have the co-pilot run through them, and we will start.
Morning.
Cockpit preparation checklist.
Morning. Thank you.
Batteries,
Both on.
electrical power,
APU on.
navigation lights,
On.
engine master,
Both off.
engine mode selector,
Check normal.
landing gear lever,
Checked.
parking brake,
On.
flaps,
Check position.
speed brake lever,
Checked retracted.
thrust levers,
Idle.
transponder mode,
Checked standby.
radio control panel,
On.
ECAM recall,
Welcome aboard.
Checked.
anti-skid,
On.
flight director,
On.
emergency lights,
Checked and armed.
no smoking signs,
On.
anti-ice,
Off.
probe window heat,
Auto.
air condition,
Checked.
ventilation panel,
Is checked.
electric panel,
Checked.
fuel pumps,
Hello.
On.
hydraulics,
Is checked.
anti brake pressure,
Thank you.
Morning.
Set.
ground proximity warning system,
Welcome
On.
electronic flight control system,
On.
So he can
Ideas?
continue running through those. I
Checked.
just wanted you guys to hear them a little bit.
emergency equipment,
Is checked.
checklist complete,
There's the checklist. And so it's just closed doors at this point. So we just gotta wait for boarding to complete. Kind of some nasty weather today. Unfortunately, there's no cover on our steps today. When I was flying earlier, I flew in with a 777 here a couple days ago from Frankfurt, and the steps that we had covers. And it was also raining when we came in. And interestingly enough, it was also rain. It was actually thunder, snow, and rain when we left Frankfurt. So I've had some interesting weather the past few days flying. Waiting to close the doors. Alright. So that way it can remove the steps. So we're going to close the front and the rear doors there. I will back out here just so you can see the steps move. And it's amazing the amount of animation that's loaded into this program. It's fantastic. Actually, it looks like the cargo loading is done as well. So I can go back in here and close the cargo. Return, go back to the checklists here. Doors are closed.
Before start checklist.
And we are going to want push
windows
back.
and doors,
Closed
And
and
we're gonna
locked.
go
APU?
those
Right. APU on.
APU bleed,
And we're going to start
On.
engines
external
or
power,
during and or after.
Disconnected and off.
cabin signs,
On.
thrust levers,
Idle.
parking brake,
On.
bearer reference,
Checked. 2980.
2980, check, beacon lights,
Set on.
checklist complete,
Alright, so we just need to remove traffic cones and the chocks. Ground services. Traffic cones removed, wheel chocks removed. Okay, cool. So it automatically took care of that for me. Back to the checklist screen. And to get ready for this engine start, we're going to turn the packs off.
Departure check completed. Live been inserted. Release parking brakes.
And we'll release
Parking brakes released.
All engines clear. Start at wheel.
Alright, so to start at will, we are going to start engine 2 first, since that will be our outboard
Starting engine 2.
engine when it comes to the turn. Start engine 2. spool up here.
Engine 2 is stabilized.
Alright, engine 2 is stabilized. We're gonna
Starting
start
number one.
Airbuses have always had that kind of interesting, especially the A320 family, that interesting little bark. That's just the hydraulic system priming itself. It's kind of interesting sound. A lot of people are confused by it oftentimes when they hear it.
Set parking brake.
Set parking brake.
Parking brakes are set. Engine 1 is stabilized.
Alright. So we're going to go outside through the station 2. And this is an early morning flight. I didn't preface that. It is, I want to say, like 5:30 in the morning or something like that. 4:30, I don't know.
Here.
It's early in the morning here. Usually time is 22:36.
Tow truck disconnected. Fly destination normal.
Basically, we're going to see just the early hours of the morning time here. I'm going to top down real quick. Actually, probably should have gone no left. Because when I'm taking the runway to the right there, I'm taking the runway that way.
Left is clear. Right
down,
is clear.
across, and over. You can take taxi right as far out as you go.
Set.
Rudder trim.
Checked 0.
Pitch trim.
And that spool down was the APU that you heard. So we were internal. Alright. And keep on going.
Flight controls.
Full left,
Full left.
full right,
Full right.
neutral.
Neutral.
We're going to go up,
Full up.
down,
Full down. Neutral. Rudder.
rudders,
Full left. Full right.
and then we're
Neutral.
Check. Flaps.
Take the parking brake
Flaps
on,
1.
Anti-ice.
light, taxi
Off.
light
Beacon
on,
status.
Checked.
start
Beacon door page.
And just for,
Checked.
reference
Hand
for
signal.
those that are interested,
Received.
Checklist
I
complete.
use the Wsss-Wmkk X52 joystick without pedals, so I'm using the twist for rudder. So we got a bit of a taxi to do today, but it's fine. You get to hear everything go through sequence, and you get a chance to look around before we take off.
Taxiing checklist.
Nose light.
Taxi.
Brake check.
Pedal pressed. Checked 0.
Check. Auto brakes.
Max.
Takeoff data.
Reviewed.
FCU.
Checked.
Flight instruments.
Checked.
Checked. TO config.
Set.
Checklist complete.
A lot of lightning going around the airport today, but the rain has stopped for the moment, so I suppose that is a plus. So yeah, we're going to be taxiing for a little while. I am probably going to cut this part out until we get closer to the runway, just so you guys aren't having to watch the plane taxi, unless there's something interesting. So I'm going to give you a couple external shots, and then we'll go from there. So I will get back with you guys in just a moment. So, welcome back. I'm getting pretty close here to runway 20 right, which is where we'll be taking off from. Up ahead in the sky, you'll see a 777 coming in. They're coming in on 20 left, I believe. Or possibly 207. I think I actually have one of those here. Anyway, regardless, they're coming in on the other runway, so we'll be cleared to go. So I'm going to get the departure checklist going.
Flight attendants, seats for takeoff. Before takeoff checklist.
Brake temperature.
Checked.
Brake fans.
Off.
Engine mode selector.
Check normal.
TCAS.
TARA, tilt above.
Exterior lights.
Set on.
Sliding tables.
Stowed.
Approaching
Stowed.
20
Checklist complete.
right.
Alright. So we will get set up on the runway here.
On runway 20 right.
And set takeoff thrust. Getting warmed up there. Here's the spool.
Takeoff. Man, flex, SRS and runway.
Check. Power set. .100 knots.
Checked.
Speed 1. Rotate. Positive climb.
Gear up.
Gear up. Gears up, lights off.
Autopilot on.
Switch that on.
Flap 0.
Turn, make sure everything's
Speed
set.
check, flap 0.
Climb thrust.
Climbers to climb.
On the after takeoff checklist.
Engine mode selector.
Check normal.
Spoilers.
Disarmed.
Flaps.
Check retracted.
Landing gear.
Gear up. Lights off.
Exterior lights.
Set off.
Flags.
Both on.
Anti-ice.
Off.
TCAS.
Checked.
Altimeter.
2980.
2980. Check. Checklist complete.
Alright, checklist is complete. We now proceed to climb. So here's the stadium. Don't know what it is. I think is it an Olympic stadium? Alright. Somebody can tell me what's near the Singapore airport that's so big and back into the rain we go. Radar even says so. The pink blips are almost down. These pink blips are turbulence points. The green is rain, potential rain. Now, this is a pretty short flight. I think it's air time of 32 minutes or something like that. but if there's anything interesting that happens or anything interesting to see live, I'll show you.
descent preparation checklist.
Seatbelt signs.
On.
Anti-ice.
Off.
Landing information.
Received.
Altimeter.
Standard.
Error radio.
Set.
Checklist complete.
Alright, so initiate descent. We're going to get down to 11. At our first. Initiate descent here shortly. Landing, but currently the weather in Kuala Lumpur, I think it's Lumpur. Currently the weather there is wind at 3 knots, coming from 080. Visibility is 5 miles. Clouds are broken at 2,400 feet, overcast at 6,200 feet. Temperature is 26 degrees Celsius with a dew point of 25 degrees Celsius, meaning there could be potential for fog coming in more so if that changes. That's why I think the visibility is at about 5 miles. The altimeter is at 29.80 and thunderstorms are in the vicinity. However, no precipitation is reported. Now again, that can change as we make our approach, but as it stands for
Initiating descent.
FMA check.
Radar tilt.
Set to below. On the ground, the winds are kind of all over the place right now. But hopefully they calm down enough for us to get in. Alright guys, I'm going to draw us back in, and actually I think you're going to ride it out for the rest of the way in. Maybe a couple of slight transitions between now and the runway. But as you can see, the sun now on this approach has come up enough. The cockpit's actually pretty well lit, so turn the interior lights back off again. You can see down on the display that the computer's already calculated the turn needed to take us to the next waypoint. We're basically in our downwind right now, and we're making our upwind, making our base leg, and then upwind here shortly. Currently following the guided descent, as you can see with the pink node on the altitude tape. We're keeping that pretty well centered on computers anyway. Sometimes you gotta watch it, especially with the weather. The weather has smoothed out quite a bit considering last time you were riding on with us. So yeah, or with me here on the plane. So we'll be making our our base turn here in just a moment. And yeah, the cock for the co-pilot has a tendency to cough and or sneeze. Kind of interesting. If you get annoyed by it, you can turn that off. I don't really mind it too much, but I just kind of ignore it constantly. So we're making that turn now. Computer's going to calculate the next turn required. And it has. And we'll be continuing our descent. Actually, the skies are clearing up over here. As we came down the downwind, it did seem to clear up, so I wonder if it's going to get a little worse as we come in. We have to kind of go back through what we've been flying away from. If we will, let's see. Closer. So we are going to hold at 6,000 feet for a short period of time until we pass, I think it's Kilo 468 is the incoming point that we have to cross at 6,000, and then we can start descending down to 5,000, which I think is our last point before we hook up with, our last altitude point before we hook up with the ILS glide slope. Approach starts in 4.7 miles. Alright, so we're going to start our approach checklist.
Approach checklist.
Decap status.
Checked.
Sliding tables.
Stowed.
Stowed cabin signs.
Checked.
Nav accuracy.
Checked.
Bearer reference.
Barrow reference set and cross-checked. 2983.
2983. Checked. Checklist complete.
Alright, and we are good to go for our approach.
Flight attendants, prepare for landing.
We've got back into bumpy weather again. I think it's just because of clouds. Regardless, I think it's going to be mostly bumpy for the rest of the way in.
Glide slope alive.
Alright, so the ILS has just come alive.
Localizer captured.
Flaps 1.
Speed check. Flaps 1.
So we've got flaps out, and we're going to capture the glide slope here in just a moment. Flaps are going out, so that is our leading edges. See if we can punch through this weather and get ourselves on the ground.
Traffic.
Let's see, that is... I sure hope he's not coming towards our approach.
Glide slope captured.
Descend. Descend now.
Let's see if we can clear the approach by doing Control Shift
Clear of conflict.
A. Yep, there we go. So that what that does, it's a cool thing with Ultimate Traffic 2, is if you do Control Shift A, it will clear the approach temporarily. So it doesn't delete all the traffic, which is the problem that the reason I was having was just removing all the traffic and putting it back in again. It just clears the aircraft that are on what is considered approach, and I can't remember what the range is on that. To I think any airport in your vicinity or on the airport, or maybe all of the aircraft approaching. I don't know exactly how that works, but it's pretty cool because you don't have to worry about having conflicts as you're coming in. Because the Microsoft Flight Sim ATC is not very good about spacing. I don't use it much anymore, as you can tell I haven't been using it its whole life. But regardless, if you're coming into an airport and you have it called in the tower, because you don't want to use the service, you can just do Control Shift and A, and that will take the approaching traffic out of the equation. I think it's like for 5 minutes or something like that.
2,500.
Re-inject it as time goes on. So it looks like we're just now popping out from below the clouds. As kind of the weather was saying, I think around 2,600 feet, if I remember correctly from when I was reading that off. Anyway, it's clearing up a little bit. It is foggy, but we can see the runway lights just there off in the distance. So now we can really start settling in for the approach.
Flaps 2.
Going in here.
Speed check, flaps 2.
Gear down.
Gear down.
Will slow us down a bit.
Right, 1,000.
Medium. We're down to 1,000 feet.
Flaps 3.
Flaps.
Speed check, flaps 3.
The approach is going smoothly.
Flaps
and I'm
full.
Going to see if this will land.
Speed check,
itself
flaps
here,
full.
There's an auto land feature on this aircraft, so
Approaching
let's see
14
what happens.
left.
I'll have my hand on stand.
Landing checklist.
Landing gear.
Down and locked, 3 greens.
Ground spoilers.
Checked and armed.
Auto brakes.
Medium.
Exterior lights.
500.
On.
Go around altitude.
Checked.
Landing memo.
Checked, no blue.
400.
Checklist complete.
But in theory, if everything is set properly and the sim doesn't have any
300. 100 above.
this should bring us straight down to the runway.
200. Minimum.
Continue.
100. 70, 60, 50, 40, 30, 20. Retard, retard, retard.
And there we go. Touch down my zone. Brakes are going to fly. Reverse thrust. Comes off. Reverse thrust is just kind of I think it mostly got that stop under braking, it sounds like, which is fine. Heck, I think there was reverse thrust, it's just the animation didn't pick up when it did automatically because we weren't outside. It wasn't necessary animation, so it cut it out for frame rate reasons. I believe that's how that worked. We will exit the runway here and begin cleaning up the
crash. Alright, so what do we got from park? No.
APU on.
After landing checklist.
5.
Exterior lights.
Checked.
Ground spoilers.
Okay, so we'll go to immediate.
Set off.
Engine mode selector.
Checked normal.
We'll
Flaps.
request to follow the truck.
Checked retracted.
TCAS.
Yes, we'll
Checked
go
standby.
Brake temperature.
Checked.
APU.
On.
Checklist complete.
I'll stop here. Marshaller has been dispatched. Following vehicle is on its way. Following sometimes has a tendency to fail. Charts specifically for this airport. We're just going to hold here until the following truckers arrive. The brake band's on, we got hot brakes. So we'll continue to climb as well since the carbon. I believe that vehicle up there is our following vehicle, so we'll get ready to roll. Indeed is. So, let's see what temperature he decides to go. Set parking brake to on. Oh, I need to engine to off. Is it gonna tow us there? I'm confused. Follow me vehicle. Follow me truck is still trying to figure this out. Alright, so that is the gate we are going to straight ahead. There should be a marshaller spawning in here momentarily to help us in. There he is. There we are.
And the parking checklist.
Shut that off. All
Parking
right.
brake and chocks.
Chocks are set.
Request
Parking
reward.
brakes released.
Engine master.
Both off.
Seatbelt signs.
Set off.
Beacon lights.
Set
Open up
off.
the, cargo.
Exterior lights.
Set off.
I'll
And
be- right here. Alright, we'll get the front door open as well. We aren't going to use the air carriage in the back. But nice, we do get a jet bridge and weather
you did a great job. Thank you for a wonderful flight.
Alright guys, and that's pretty much gonna do it for us. I'm glad you guys
Bye, thank you for a wonderful flight.
What I will do is there will be another flight sim video coming out here fairly soon.
Great
And
job,
it's just going to
gentlemen.
be the return trip with a with the turnaround rather than a cold and dark.
Thank you.
So, I will catch you guys in the next video.
Thank you. Good night.